Talking about stars in the sky, astrophysicist Neil Degrasse Tyson became a star. Tyson has a growing cult fan base with nearly 3.5 million Twitter followers and the radio show and podcast StarTalk.
Starting Monday, that program can be seen on TV and a weekly late-night talk show on National Geographic.
Did you know this at the time? At the time, are you just doing television, or are you saying to yourself, this is some good going down here? This is, whoa. Because the show did get canceled.
Right. But I knew that it was
the Kardashians went longer than the original Star Trek.
Yeah, but on Star Trek, we had the Kardashians.
That's Star Trek's George Takei, of course. And we never thought we'd have to bleep Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I know,
there you are.
Sorry.
He's also the director of the Hayden Planetarium at New York's American Museum of Natural History, and he's here along with comedian and regular StarTalk contributor Chuck Nice. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Good morning. How
the
are you?
podcast is in its 6th year.
Yeah.
For those who haven't heard it, what are you going to be putting on television?
Well, it's the TV version of the podcast and radio show is basically just a TV version of it. I don't want to say just because there's the set that
there's
we're
pictures.
on, and I have to be better groomed to do the TV than I ever had to do for the radio show. so
you're not going to be there in your sweats.
Right.
Which, by the way, that's how he comes to the radio studio. He looks a mess.
So this show is a blend of science, popular culture, and
comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Why comedy?
Oh, because I'm
glad to see we left him speechless, you know? No, comedy, believe it or not, first of all, any serious comedian is going to be a closeted nerd. That's all there is to it. If you are
You're a secret geek?
I am, it's no secret anymore. Anybody who listens to Star Talk knows that I'm a
we
full...
teased it out of him, and it's lays bare.
Exactly, right. I'm a full-blown geek now, and I'm proud of it. But if you're a comedian, you have a natural intellectual curiosity. And that is the basis of science, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you're not curious, you're not making any discoveries.
But is it hard to make science, especially at this level? Because people hear astrophysicist and they're like, whoa.
Yeah, they are 1 in a million.
No, but the universe is a hilarious place.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Yes. Like, our galaxy is on a collision course with another galaxy right now. Isn't that hilarious?
True.
Oh, my God. About 1 trillion years from now.
I've got it on my calendar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about that. No.
AD 1 trillion. Yeah, December 12th is when it's going to happen.
You have a very interesting lineup of guests in this because when we saw George Takei of Star Trek there. You've also got Christopher Nolan, the director of Interstellar, the creator of All in the Family, Norman Lear, and former President Jimmy Carter, who I apparently taught astronomy once?
Yeah, see? So we have him on Star Talk. I'm not asking the man about the Middle East, because that's what other people will do.
Right.
We're going to have a Star-Talkian conversation, and that means I'm going to talk to him about his science background. Turns out, as we remember, he has an engineering background, and he taught celestial navigation to fellow Navy midshipmen, and this comes out in the conversation. Then I asked, in your diplomacy and your career in politics, did this brain wiring of analytic problem solving from science, did that manifest in how you interact? He said yes, and then he describes why and how. And so Star Talk, the scientist, am interviewing people from pop culture rather than a journalist interviewing a scientist. That's the inversion model that this is.
And the beauty of that is one of the things that is teased out in every episode is that science is everywhere. Yeah. You know, I mean, science is, and people don't realize that. Look, that's science right there. I don't know how, but Neil will tell you.
It's a vibration. Yeah, there's you communicated a vibration from your skin to the air, and it goes to your eardrum.
See?
And it vibrates.
See?
Well, what do you think translating this into the visual medium? Because, you know, it's one thing to hear people talking about science. It's another thing to see a comedian or someone that you know, an entertainment person, kind of light up talking about
it's
science.
amazing to me that we've all heard comedy albums, and comedians on albums where you're only hearing them, it's amazing that can still be funny because there's so much there to see if you watch them live. I kept thinking during our radio shows and the podcast that wouldn't it be cool if people could see my co-host is always a professional comedian, and Chuck is there a lot. Yeah. But to watch Chuck gesture, I'm watching him gesture across the table in the radio studio.
Yeah.
If this went to TV, oh my gosh, it adds another dimension of your access to the flow of this information.
That was Neil's way of saying that I'm a very handsome man.
Is your design to slip more science through to people with comedy? Is that the secret here?
Well, so I don't consider it slipping in. You know what it is? Because that would imply some kind of bait and swap.
Yeah.
Our goal is to blend so smoothly comedy, pop culture, and science that you cannot imagine it happening any other way.
Right.
And when that's the case, you're not slipping anything in. You say, of course it must be that way. And then when you walk out into the street, you'll be seeing the world through a new kind of lens, a lens that where you're empowered by a science literacy that enables you to see it everywhere, rather than say, oh, here's science, let me walk around that, because I didn't do too well in that science class in school, but I'm into this, but not that. No, you're always into science.
But see, and that's the beauty of it. You see how passionate this man is? Okay, I mean, we could have, I only talk about sex like that. Okay? That is the only thing in my life that I get that excited about. And, you know, right now, I want to run into science on the street. Okay? And this is what makes the show so awesome.
I want a new Tinder app. General relativity. Oh my gosh. Calculus.
Swipe right.
All right, okay. I think that's a show people are going to watch. Neil deGrasse Tyson and Chuck Nice, thank you both for being here this morning. StarTalk premieres Monday on National Geographic.